it's Becky. You want to make some earrings? Let's make some earrings. I have a bunch of different sets of spooky, spoopy, Halloweeny kind of things. Some of these you guys watched me organize. I also have some leftover bits from some previous Halloweens that we can pull from. But I thought I'd just pull out a couple of these and we'll just make some earrings and stuff with what we've got. Now this is the Soft Flex Halloween Hustle Kit, and when I was unboxing this, I noticed that these beads look like eyeballs to me. So I'm gonna grab these guys and these big beads that have a hole that goes through it this way, and I think I want to make some weird little guys with this, and we'll make some weird little guy earrings with those. And I'm gonna want some of these orange beads for some teeths. So we'll do some stuff with that. Gonna grab a sugar skull or two. These black and white sugar skulls. We'll do a couple of earrings with these. I think I would like to have these rondelles be part of my sugar skull experience. And these, very possibly. Also these. New. Blue and purple. There we go. So we've got those. We've got some of these. All right. So that's going to be a couple of earrings from the Soft Flex kit. And for this kit, they put the black onyx craft or beading wire in the kit. But I might be using the purple amethyst color. We'll see when we get there if I'm still feeling purples or if I want to do something different with that. And you know what? I might use this with some of the other things that I've got here. All right. So this is that Jesse James Beads mystery kit that I unboxed. Spoilers. Anyway, I'm gonna pull out some of these, and I love these spoopy ghost witch charms. So I'm definitely making earrings with these. And I think because we've got a little red band on the witch hat, we're gonna grab some of these red cubes. And we're just gonna keep it simple with our little witch ghost earrings, and then trying to think of what else to do with these. Maybe a couple of these. That might be good. Yeah. And a little witch hat charm and some stars. There we go. That'll be fun. All right. I'm not gonna use all of these kits, but I'm gonna use a couple of things from each of these little bits so that we can have like a little variety of earrings that we can play with. Okay, and then this one was the one where I made myself a Halloween bundle by shopping the spooky shop section of the Beadbox Bargains. They still have a lot of stuff in there, like some of these little pumpkin beads, and I'm going to actually be using these pumpkin beads probably tomorrow when I'm doing just fall themed things, things that aren't specifically Halloweeny like these are. But I definitely want to make my spider and web earrings that I had an idea for while I was unboxing this. And let's see, what is going to be my other one? I think maybe, I've got some of these bats from the Jesse James Beads one over here, so I could grab these from either. But I think I'm going to grab these bats. And let me see how I want them dangling. I'm going to pull those off and a couple of these. We're going to class up these bats. All right. There we go. And I think that should be enough for our little earring adventure today. So let's see what I've got for, I think I've got silvers there, silver there, gunmetal. Yeah, let's do gunmetal on that one. And then this one, stainless steel or silver. Yeah, silver would work for that one. All right, so I've got several different craft wires that I can use with this. I've got gold. I've got this gunmetal color. And I think between these and my silver wire, which I think I might have put away last time I was making things. Ooh, I know. No, let's do, yeah, we'll do gunmetal for this one. Silver for this one. Gold here. Maybe gold on this one? I think gold on this one might be good. And then silver here. Okay, so let me grab some silver because I'm going to need to have some ear wires. Oh, or you know what? I've got these ear wires I've already made. Ha-ha. Well done. This is why you make ear wires in advance. So I've got some gold ear wires. We'll do that. And some silver. Which we can do there. And then I can make some gunmetal ones for this one. I still have some blue wire ones. Let's go with gold on that one. Silver, silver, and then I'll just do gunmetal for both of those. Perfect. That way I don't have to go find my silver wire. All right. Wonderful. So real quick, let's make some ear wires. So now that I've got my ear wires here, my tools while I'm making all of these are going to be some 6-step bill making pliers. You can use round nose pliers, but it's a little easier for me to use those. I've got some chain nose pliers, and I've got a magical crimper for when I start using the beading wire for my earrings, which is definitely a thing that I am going to be doing. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to use beading wire on this one. Okay, so I've got those. Oh, where's my crimps? Because I believe I have some crimp tubes in here. These are 2x2 crimp tubes. And I'll be using those with the beading wire. So I've got those for the beading wire. I've got these for these. Oh, some flush cutters. I think that's everything that I'm going to need to make earrings with. All right, so I'm going to just grab this 22 gauge wire, and this is real kinked at the end, so I'm just going to cut it flush just to have something fresh to start with. And this is that gunmetal color of craft wire that I grabbed from the Soft Flex outlet. I'm going to cut off about 3 inches. I'm going to do that twice. Make sure my ends are flush. This is how I make my new favorite, ear wires. Oh, I am going to need to use this for the first part. I forgot that I start with a small loop on the end. Let me make sure this gets closed all the way. There we go. And then the second to the smallest loop, so not the smallest one, but the second one, I'm going to be bending around it, but I want my loops that I just made facing away from it, like that, so then I can bend around it, like that. And then this loop is going to be facing away from the next barrel, and it's going to be the second from the largest, so this one over here. So I'm going to have this facing away from it, like that. Then I'm going to bend my wire all the way around, like that. Keep holding this together, and use my chain nose pliers to give it a little bit of a bend, and my flush cutters to cut it off. And then what I like to do is grab a metal file and file down the rough edges if there are any, and there usually is at least a little bit of one, so that when it goes in your ears, it doesn't tear it up. That's what I like to do for my ear wires. Alright, and since this is a dead soft wire, I am going to open and close my pliers on all of the bendy bits of this ear wire in order to work harden it a little bit. Which one was going to be gunmetal? This one. There we go. Alright, so when I'm making these, I'm just going to make one earring for each of these, and then I'll make the second one off camera so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But while we are out here, doing our thing, let's go ahead and pull off some of this beading wire, and let's make our weird little guys first, because I really want to make these weird little guys. Alright, so I'm going to want like a double loop, maybe a triple loop. Yep. That should be good. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of these circle ones, the ones that look like little eyeballs, and one of these, that's going to be the nose, and then we're going to have some teeth. So everything that I do with those, I'm going to set aside the same amount over here for my second one, and I'm going to just slide these one right after another on my beading wire. See, little eyeballs and a little nose. And now I'm going to grab some crimp tubes, and I'm going to put it on either side of this guy. That's a lot of crimp tubes. Let's put a few of these back because I only need 2 of them for here. These are the 2x2 soft flex crimp tubes, which I really, really like using. They are worth it. And I am not going to crimp yet, not until we get our guy completely made. All right. Now, I'm going to go through this crimp tube, but not through any of those beads. And I'm going to go through this crimp tube on this side, but not through any of those beads. Just going to tighten that a little teensy bit. We can move these when we need to, where they need to go. But now, for this little bit, I'm going to string on, let's see, 8, 10 teeth? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how many it needs to make it look like a toofy grin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's yeah, that's perfect. All right, so now that I have the my teeth strung on, I'm going to go through this crimp tube in this direction, over here on the opposite side. And then I am going to pull this down through this crimp tube. Going all the way around. All right, so now I need to adjust some strands. This is gonna be fun, I think. Okay, so that is the topmost one. See, he's just a weird little guy. I'm going to crimp this right here. I just literally right here. And I'm going to ravioli both sides before I start rounding it out, just so that I can make sure I'm not going to lose my wire placement while I'm working on this. All right, so ravioli, and then we can go around and around. You just open and close it all the way around. That is just not a good crimp. Let's try that again. that's better. It's more rounder. I got this one. And I'm just going to cut off my excess wire here. Right here in this top loop. That's where I am going to put my ear wire. So now I got a weird little guy. I love him. Weird little guy. That's amazing. Okay, so I got one weird little guy. What would you name these guys? They both have to have different names. They can't both be Rupert. But yeah, what would you name a weird little guy like that? I don't know. Let's do some sugar skull stuffs. Now, do I have any? I don't have any floofy drops here in this mix, but I do have so I just want this to be at the bottom of my sugar skull thing. Just some of these little tassels. This is from my leftovers from previous Halloweens. So I could do these pink tassels, which would be great because it would tie in with these pink beads. Or I've got these black and white tassels, which would be great because they go with the... Let me try out both of these and see how I feel about them. Yeah, I think I like the pink tassels. We're gonna go with those. All right. Which means we are mixing some metals here, but that's fine. Because I'm just gonna grab the gunmetal and we're just gonna do some wrapped loops. That's what we're gonna do. And for the wrapped loops, I'm gonna go about 2 inches down. Let's change our focus so that we're not looking at everything behind us. I'm going to bend it back and then over the loop that I want to form. Open my 6-step bill making pliers and continue the loop all the way around. And now I can open my loop, slide on my tassel, close my loop, start wrapping. I'm just going to wrap 3 times. Alright, and now I'm going to want to cut off enough wire for all of these guys. So we've got our little tassel on the bottom. I'm going to straighten this out a little bit. We're going to stick one of our sugar skulls right there. And then the green bead, this black sparkly rondelle, and a pink bead. So it looks like a little hat. And then up here at the top, we're going to get ready to do another wrapped loop. I'm going to bend it over the top of these pliers so that there's room here for the wrapping. Then we're going to go around again, just like before, only I don't have to attach this to anything. So I'm just going to wrap while it's still on here. Let's be a little messy. Let's make a nice fat wrap. I like it. So now we have our little guy there. And I believe we're going to do gunmetal on this one too. So here is our sugar skull. Let me put this one over here with this so we can make a second one later. So sugar skull is done. So I got my weird little guy, got my sugar skull. Now let's do some black magic. Not really black magic. We're gonna have our super spoopy guys right here. And I'm trying to decide. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use more of this purple wire for this one. All right, so just gonna loop this through this hat. It's got a little loop on it. And then I'm gonna put this, both wires through this pave bead, this sparkly purple pave bead, like that. And then both of them through our star. So it's sitting right on top of our witch's hat. Now I need another crimp tube. Yeah, I'm glad I grabbed this purple. It's working out for some of these. And I'm going to put the crimp tube through with both of these strands of wire. So it's sitting right there at the top of that star. And I'm going to bend one of these back through the crimp tube in order to make a loop. This loop is going to be what we attach the ear wire to up at the top. So let's get this crimped. You want to make sure that you're crimping with a little bit of room away from the edge of this star bead, because the star beads will break. I know this because mine was a little bit broken when I got it. All right. So here we go. This is earring number 3. A little star in a witch's hat with purple sparkles. Set that one up there. These two over here. All right, so we've so far used some craft wire, some beading wire, and I'm going to use some more craft wire on this one. Let me grab our little guy here. It's going to be exactly the same as the other. We're going to make wrapped loops on both sides, both ends of a bead stack, and attach a dangle to the end, only instead of a tassel, it's going to be our little spooky witch ghost. Super spooky. But before I do that, I'm just going to pop the beads that I'm using onto my wire so that when I cut it, it'll be like the right amount. For that, I've got my little square red beads. I've got a sparkly rondelle spacer. And now I can make my wrapped loop here at the end, about 2 inches down. I'm going to bend it back and then bend this around my smallest loop, open it, rotate it, close it, and keep bending so that you make a little curly Q up here at the top. And we're going to want to swing this open a little bit. Slide our little ghosty on there. Close it up. And do a little wrapping. Just going to smush my wraps together a little because they're slightly wonky, and that's fine. Sometimes you have wonky wraps. Alright, so now that I know about how long I want it, I'm going to guesstimate about two inches away from that. 2.5. And now I can do a wrapped loop at the top of this. Grip it with my thing, bend it over the top. Use my bail making pliers, and you can use round nose pliers for this too. I just prefer using my bail making pliers when I do wrapped loops. But for simple loops, I prefer my round nose pliers. It's just a thing. It's just a thing I have. I believe it's called a preference. This little ghost witch is just so happy. Such a happy little ghost witch. All right. That is earring number 4. All right, let's get these guys over here. Now, this one is going to be super, super simple. Super simple because I am just going to open up this package first of all. Oh, why can't I open this? My hand strength is failing me. Let's just use some scissors so I can get my little spiders out. And the hard part about this is going to be deciding where I want to attach my jump rings for these guys. I'm going to go grab my 6mm jump rings, because I think they will be large enough for both of these. Actually, yes, that's the gunmetal color instead of the stainless steel. All right, let's get this open and see if I can attach my spider to the spider web. I think I'm going to attach it just on the side here. And I need to open this wider because this is a thick cut of metal. Yes. Now the tricky part is because this is such a small hole here, how am I going to get my ear wire through there? I will have to use a different kind of ear wire. My old favorite, which is basically like this, but without this little loop on the end. So, I'm going to cut my little loop off. Like that. And make sure that that can close all the way. Swing it open. There we go. I got a shiny spider. Shiny and dangly. Love that guy. All right, now bats and some sparkly rondelles with some gold on it. The question is, balance-wise, do I want my point going up or do I want my point going down? Yeah, I think I like the down. I think I really like that. All right. So now we're going to make the same kind of earring with this. Oh, hold on. This is 20 gauge, which is fine. I just got to make sure that all of my beads will fit. And they do. Perfect. All right. This also means that I could probably just do some simple loops on this since it's 20 gauge, and I'm going to do that. Simple loop time. For simple loop, I'm going to bend this over 90-degree angle, measure about 1 centimeter away, and I know where to hold it on my hand. You can use a measuring thing. That's 1 centimeter. And 1 centimeter is about 1/4 of an inch. So I told you guys already that I like to use my round nose pliers for my simple loops. And that's because I can roll the wire and then adjust what part of the barrel I'm rolling it on according to how much of the wire I'm using up, so that if I didn't cut exactly 1 centimeter, I can still get myself a nice little loop. And I always like to do a little squish on the end with my chain nose pliers on the flat side. All right, now let's go ahead and get our bat on here. Close that up. Round nose pliers are terrible for opening and closing these things. Why do I always grab that? I don't know why. So now I got my little bat on there. I'm going to drop one of these rondelles. My black and gold drop. Then another rondelle. And now I'll have some shiny, sparkly bat earrings. All right, and I want to bend this going in. I can change the direction of these loops if I need to, but I don't know that I want to need to. And get myself another centimeter over there. Let's do my loop. Perfect. Now I can put my ear wire through. And there we have our 6th. Whoop! Well, my video cut out right before I was doing my wrap up. So, what I was saying is there we have our 6th spooky earring pair, and we've got our weird little guys. Since the video was over and before I discovered it, I had gone ahead and made the second one. So you have our weird little guys, and I made these with the Soft Flex Halloween Hustle kit and some beading wire. We've also got some Dia de los Muertos sugar skull earrings, which are fun and festive. Also from the Halloween Hustle kit. And then from the Jesse James Beads mystery box, I've got my witch hat and sparkly stars, which I also used some beading wire to make. My super sweet and spoopy witches in their little ghosty house. And then from the little Halloween bundle that I made for myself from the Beadbox Bargain site, I've got my bats and some shiny rainbowy spiders. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had fun watching this, maybe making along with me. Tomorrow we're gonna do some fall flavored things, you know. I'm thinking some pumpkin spice latte earrings, maybe some hot apple cider earrings. I am going to be doing some fun stuff with those pumpkin beads that we had in here, so we'll get some of that going, and we'll do that tomorrow. But for today, we were doing spooky things. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye!